Jose, how are you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
How's the GCC summit going on so
it's
far?
it's very interesting. I mean, for me, it's an opportunity to recall very important in my aspects in my own history of how we have contributed to the IT industry. So it's good participating in this event.
Yes, I have many questions to follow up on
Yes.
that. Before that, can you also introduce to our audience, for people who don't know you?
Well, I'm Ashok Bakthvatchalam. I'm Managing Director of KG Information Systems. Part of the KGISL group, we have interest in 5 different areas. One is obviously providing solutions for insurance tech and capital markets. We provide remote business services to leading companies in the US. The second vertical I'm interested is in infrastructure, which is provided. We have established the single largest SEZ outside Chennai in Tamil Nadu, and it has contributed almost 50,000 crores in cumulative exports this year and employs more than 50,000 people in that zone, contributing almost 65% of all software exports from the Coimbatore region. Third, I'm also wear the hat of founder of 3 education institutions, because talent is important in the entire story, as all of you have listened to this entire day. And of course, I'm also part of KG Hospital, one of the 51st, we're celebrating our 51st year of anniversary. And being in healthcare continues to be an important part of the social infrastructure that we have to offer. And finally, I'm interested in renewable energy as well.
Nice, sir. And also, while talking about GCC and also about attracting more global brands to come here, you've already done it. We have a proof of concept. Yeah, when we set up the SEZ here in Coimbatore, you had big names drop in, as you mentioned in your presentation. We had Bosch, Cognizant, and followed by Dell Technologies, which is an entity data. So, if we had to do it right from the beginning, is there anything that lessons that you would drop to the GCC members here?
I think I like the example of Bosch. I think Bosch could have gone anywhere in the country. They chose to come to Coimbatore because we sold them the story of how we can be a reliable infrastructure partner. Because at that time, I'm talking about almost 20 years ago, Coimbatore's story as a destination for IT was still, and we knew it as the son of the soil. I knew the potential. But for when a leading corporate, global corporate, Bosch has to make a decision, they really want to test the waters, and therefore a true partnership evolved between Bosch and us. And that would be the playbook I think a lot of developers or builders should take, especially if you want to attract the best GCCs to come to Coimbatore. And this is the time to do it, because we are in the cusp of AI disrupting things. So therefore, the ability to deliver AI talent to ourselves, we are also developing solutions and software. We know the challenge. We know how the challenge can be overtaken as well. So if we get the act together, do the right things right now, we should be able to attract the best GCs to Coimbatore. That again, I think improves the competitive advantage of the city, not just in India. We have to look at competitive advantage across the world.
Absolutely. And we had some questions right from the morning that people had doubts about what is a GCC apart from an IT park. Is it like a specialized location? And you can answer it better, I believe.
Yeah, these 3-letter acronyms are, we have seen enough of them. I think earlier what we were called, we would, if you were setting up an office space for an MNC or anybody, would be called an offshore development center, ODCs. And the model at that time was simple cost arbitrage. If you could do it in the US or Europe for $100 per hour, we can get it done in an ODC or in Coimbatore at $20. That's called the cost arbitrage. Now we've moved. While that continues to still be a story, that is not the main story. Cost arbitrage is one. Second is, can that same talent help innovate, create new products, right? Given that, okay, this is the problem statement, can that same team who is doing cost arbitrage, can they step up and say, look, I can develop products in a specific domain? Now that is becoming that for the last 5-10 years. That was the how do you deliver innovation. Now what is happening is, how do you deliver transformation? So you see many of these GCCs. So when the ODC transforms from being just a cost arbitrage center to an innovation center and ultimately delivers transformation to its parent, then you call it a GCC.
Nice,
Uh,
nice.
but uh, but I think it's misleading to think GCCs don't do cost arbitrage also, but they are set up predominantly with the intent to do transformation. And today, AI is the story, right? I mean, today everybody is struggling to do transformation using AI in the right way. So, running those experiments, as many experiments as you can, and the lowest cost possible, pick those winners and then roll them out across the global centers is the name of the game, and that's where GCCs are so exciting for a city, and especially not only for the company itself.
Yes.
We as a city, if we can attract those GCCs, again the profile of the city itself goes up.
Nice. So one question that gathered this morning was like it is more related to how could someone who lives in Coimbatore can have an equal work-life balance. The question was like, does Coimbatore offer more nightlife? It's not just about nightlife. While you being in like you run an IT company, also you have this infrastructure in place. When your presentation was there, you made sure that the infrastructure in the company has all the amenities in it, like from jogging track to everything. So like an infrastructure developer and also with you run an IT business, you know what people need and what they want. How do you bridge the balance, and how does it answer the question of employee here having a balance of his life?
Um, I mean, let me put it this way: much of the social infrastructure that needs to happen is I think in some sense responding to what the employee wants, which is okay. But I think we have an opportunity to what is more important to respond to what does the employee need.
True,
In today's world, I believe I'm not discounting the fact that you want a nightlife, right? So if that's what floats your boat, we have to do that. But I think we as part of the ecosystem, part of the industry and community, have to encourage people to say, look, first is health is your first wealth.
True.
And therefore, for me as a developer, I believe I may not respond to the wants of the employee, but I know the need of the employee is being addressed. And therefore, if you do that and communicate that effectively, in the long term, 3-5 years, they'll understand, oh my God, this is what I needed. And therefore, I got the benefit of that in the infrastructure. So I'm happy to continue to stay in Coimbatore. Ultimately, that's what it is, right? I mean, you want them to, I believe Coimbatore with a strong higher education institutions in place, we have the opportunity to develop talent. If you can employ them in the city with the right features, right? They might end up going to Bangalore and find, oh my God, I don't have a jogging course. Let me go back to Coimbatore.
I get it.
That potentially could be the way that you strategize yourself to keep the talent within the city.
Retaining talents. Two last questions. One thing is like you are into a healthcare field, so you know better like how mindfulness an employee should be.
Yes.
And also your infrastructure field where you make sure that there are more able office spaces for employees to walk in. And you also run an IT company. Now comes a term. Work from home is where employees might feel more productive, maybe in their way. As an employer, what do you think? And also as an infrastructure developer, what do you think? Then that's work from home, if it goes on a long haul, then that won't be a right a framework to make work manageable. And also, how can this align with the employees' well-being?
Work from home is a very interesting challenge. It's not all bad. See, for example, I know a company that's operating out of Cochin. They're employing 10,000 people, but within a space that was only had 3,000 seats, which is they're shuffling the same workers, the workforce, using a less number of seats.
Okay.
So it's an advantage in one way, but you need to get them to the workplace at least two days a day or 3 days a week, because that's the best way to build a cohesiveness among the workforce. So work from home is good, and the best way is to create the right motivations for them to come to that work. And again, their design of the infrastructure makes an important play. And I think this whole idea of health and health tech is extremely important in our space. I didn't cover that in my presentation. I mean, we think of many other domains. Healthcare is a perfect domain for Coimbatore. We have some of the leading hospitals.
Yeah.
KG Hospital, for example, we're one among 5 centers as just robotic heart surgery. And imagine creating the necessary medical devices, because many of these doctors have very interesting idea of what new devices they want to be developed and prototyped, so that they become even more productive. I mean, I'm going off on a tangent, but healthcare again, because you spoke about the health of the employee, an important social infrastructure we have going for Coimbatore, it's a very big blessing, is that we have such wonderful healthcare institutions. That can also be the basis for creating truly very differentiated GCCs in healthcare as well. Hyderabad is doing that, but I think Coimbatore should take a leap, should borrow what's worked in Hyderabad and recreate it in Coimbatore.
Yes. And one last question is like we have many places, like we have seen this like talks right from the morning. People identified some roadblocks that city needs to develop. As a Coimbatorian, you would know what are the things that needs to be fasten up the thing. So what are the things that need to be made sure that is good, the roadblocks, and how are the policy interventions and the government supporting it in fastening the process?
Sir, like I said, from 2011 we're asking for international connectivity. Okay. It is 14 years and still we're asked to wait for some more years. If that can be hastened, and I think another speaker also spoke to that effect, that we might do something in the interim for the next 2-3 years. That is, if there's only one thing I would ask for from the industry, from the government, is international connectivity, and everything else, even though it might be constrained, will take care of itself in some way. But that one thing will overshadow all the other constraints that we have right now. And second is ensure to keep, Coimbatore cannot go the Bangalore way in terms of traffic, because traffic also affects the air quality. And we want healthy employees. We want healthy citizens. And so that's the second thing, which there's a lot of creative things that can happen. I mean, building an airport might be a big ask, but I think the community and the government can do a lot of interesting things to address the other smaller thing, including traffic and how we can manage traffic.
Nice. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. And let's meet more as a GCC takes shape.
Yes.
Right, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks again.